Hello, welcome back to another video. This is still under core beliefs, and this is section two, why most businesses fail. This is the last part of this section, and this is the advice to avoid failure questions. So the first question is, if I could sit every business owner down for, let's say, 10 minutes, what would I warn them about? Um, Most likely, the thing that I would warn them about is the fact that there are tons of I'll improve your marketing type offers out there, even down to the local Yelp or Yellow Pages or whatever they call themselves. And it's a huge waste. It's not a waste if you know what you're doing, you know you're getting out of it. And most of these people, including online courses and gurus and stuff like that, will promise you that they're going to give you all the answers that you need. But if you were to actually probe further, you'd find out that they don't. And what you need to be wary of is you will feel the desire to get one of these services when things are hard. And that is the wrong time to get one. The best time to sign up for one of these, we'll say like Yelp services or local business services or whatever, is when everything is working. And why is that different than what you think or when you think you should sign up? And that's because when everything is working, your message is dialed in, your audience is buying from you. And what these services do is they enhance your reach, gets you in front of more people. And that makes sense when everything's working. When things aren't working, when you can't run ads on your own and get people to convert, when you're not getting the kind of leads you need, these services appear attractive because they seem like they're going to fix this for you, but it's complete BS. For example, there was a local client that I was working with that was in like the med spa type space, and she was struggling to bring clients in. And in between my meetings with her, one of these local people offering to get her business in front of like people in the area on their TVs and stuff had spoken with her, and she agreed to sign up to it for a year-long contract where she could not get out of it. And it was like monthly she had to pay, and they promised views, right? They're like, oh, so many people are going to see your offer, your store, and that will almost, that's got to guarantee sales, right? But they don't guarantee sales. They just guarantee views. And when I talked to her, she was like, it's not really doing anything. I said, yeah, because what message are you sending out? Like we hadn't ironed down her offer where it was an attractive offer for people to want to get. And so because she was still working on her offer, all of this was doing was draining her account to the point where she had to basically cancel her card because they wouldn't let her out of the contract. Now, there were things in the contract that they weren't upholding. So it was easy for her to justify being like, no, like you guys aren't holding up your end of the bargain. So that's it. And they eventually agreed. But this is very common. These types of services, the salespeople involved are just trained to get a sale. They're not trained to understand the business's needs. So as a business owner, you're going to feel the need of, I want my marketing to work. I want the exposure to work. And when you come across these offers, and it doesn't have to be the local place, it could be an online guru who's telling you the number one course to get is theirs, and the only way to do stuff is with them. And it makes it seem like that's all I need. That's the missing piece. And they don't tell you all of the rest that is currently missing, which is you need to have something strong to begin with. You need a strong offer. You need to know who your audience is. You're going to know how they respond. So when you use these services, all you're doing is enhancing your marketing. You're adding on to an already working system to expand your business. If you go to these services as the Hail Mary, this will be the thing that'll save my business, it never works. Never. You can't look at them like that. It has to be something you do when business is going well. So that would be some of the advice that I would tell somebody who's just starting out. You're going to get hit with a lot of these. The more attractive they feel to you because your business is hurting, the more you need to pull away and say, no, I need to figure this out. You can look to hire somebody like myself to help you figure out these points of clarity that you don't have ironed out yet. But it would be hard for me to make progress with you if you're still struggling to figure out who your client is, what your offer is. Doesn't mean I can't help you with those things, but understand that there's a bit of work that needs to get done before you get to the money, right? So it's very important you understand that. I'm not saying you don't go out there and you learn some skills that can help your business. And I'm not saying everybody out there is bad, just like 90 to 99% of them are, right? But I am saying is the more attractive they feel to you as a business owner, the more you need to have alarm bells going off that says, this sounds really good, but does it sound good because I'm desperate? And if the answer is yes, take that money you would have given to them, run more ads, run more angles, run more tests. That will get you further than any service or course you sign up for. Anyway, hope that helps, and I'll talk to you guys later.